is we're going to be talking about this thing which is called the rate of change. Okay, kadar perubahan, the rate of change. And this one has a lot of things to do with the chain rule. Okay, can you guys see the screen?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Okay. So let's at first let's talk about this, the rate of change lah. So when you're talking about the word rate okay, rate maksudnya kadar kan, we are thinking in terms of over time. Okay, something over time. Something changes over time. So dia mesti bahagi masa. Okay, then we're talking about the rate of change. But since this is a differentiation question, okay, this is a differentiation topic, so we know that we are talking about d something dt. Okay, so in terms of mathematics, especially in terms of differentiation, we write the rate of change as d something dt. Okay, so if the sentence says the rate of change of y, okay, so we are talking about dy dt. Okay, so we need to, first of all, we need to understand how to translate the sentence into mathematics. So the rate of change of y will be dy dt. Okay, the rate of change of x will be dx dt. Okay, and you can virtually use that for any letter. Okay, if I want, let's say, rate of change of volume. Okay, let's say volume now. So yesterday we talked about volume and area questions, right? So the rate of change of volume will be dv dt. Okay, so the first thing that I need you to understand is what we mean by the words rate of change of. Okay, when you see the word rate of change of means you have to think in terms of over dt. Okay, dv dt ka, dx dt ka, dy dt ka, the letter on top here will change. Bergantung kepada apa kehendak soalan lah. If they ask you to find the rate of change of S, for example, be ds dt. Okay, as long as you understand that when you see the words rate of change, you're thinking about dt sudah. Okay, that's the first thing I need you to understand. Okay, the second one is I want to go back to sorry, I want to go back to when we talk about the chain rule. Okay, remember the chain rule, if we want to count dy dx, we introduce a new letter, right? So it'll be dy du times with du dx. Okay, we call this the chain rule. Okay, so let's say in terms of let's say if I want to, since I'm talking about the rate of change kan, saya mau dt lah kan. Let's say, how would I formulate a chain rule that has dy dt? Dan saya mau guna 3 huruf ini, x, y, and t. How would the chain rule look like? Anybody?
dy dx times with dx dt.
Okay, very good. dy dx times with dx dt. So we always take a look at what we want. We put one on top and the other, and then the one yang merepeat is the third letter. Okay, in the same way. Now, same thing, astaga. Let's say I want to use the same 3 letters, x, y, and t. Now I want you to tell me what is dx dt. Form the chain rule. Somebody else besides Fadila?
dx dy times dy dt.
Okay, times dy dt. Okay, so forming the chain rule is a very important thing. Okay, as long as you know what are the 3 letters that are involved. Okay, let me give you another one. This is also another common one. A, S, and T. Okay, and I want A is for area, sorry, not S. Let's say R lah. Okay, R is for radius. So let's say I want to find the rate of change of area. Okay, tell me how would I form the chain rule? These 3 letters.
dA over dr and then dr over dt.
Times dr over dt. Okay, So basically like that. So you just need to know what are the three letters involved, 3 huruf yang terlibat, and form the chain rule berdasarkan apa yang soalan maulah. Okay, soalan boleh minta apa-apa. Okay, dia boleh minta DADT ke, DRDT ke. Okay, so jangan terkongkong dengan satu cara. Just know how to form the chain rule. Okay, so perkara pertama, perkara kedua, okay, perkara ketiga. Let's say I give you the value of dy dx, okay, equals to 3. Contohnya, okay, I find the value of dy dx, I sub the x in, and I get the value of dy dx equals to 3. Okay, the third thing that I need you to think about is if I inverse the dy dx. Okay, kalau dy dx equals to 3, dx dy means saya inverse, it will be 1 over 3. This is a very important relationship you need to remember. I can inverse it sesuka hati yang saya mau. Okay, so sometimes kita kena kasih fit in masuk ke dalam kita punya chain rule. I will talk about this in a while. But these three things, this third thing is very important. Be flexible. Okay, kalau dr dt, sorry, tidak boleh. Kalau dA dr is, let's say, 2 pi r. Okay, what is dr dA?
1 over 2 pi r.
1 over 2 pi r. Kita terbalikkan saja. Okay, so be flexible in that sense lah. Okay, kalau contohnya ds dr, okay, equals to 3 over 4x. Nama x, sorry. 3 over 4 lah. Okay, you have to know that dr ds equals to 4 over 3. Kita mesti belajar untuk fleksibel begitu. Okay, know how to change it around. Especially if it is just a number. Okay, just learn to change it around. Because when you know how to change it around, then you know how to put it into the chain rule. Okay, and that's a very, very important thing for us to cover lah. Okay, now if you have your papers with you, okay, this paper once again, can you please turn to page 14? Okay, page 14 in this paper. Okay, this paper, page 14. Okay, so I want to talk about question number 2 lah. Okay, so you are given y equals to 4x squared minus x. Okay, and then they give these magic words, x increases at a rate of 4 units per second. Okay, now this is a very important piece of information. Okay, but I will come to this in a while. They cakap find the rate of change of y when x equals to 0.5. Okay, so whenever you are faced with a rate of change question, first thing you do is identify the 3 letters involved. Okay, second thing you do is form the chain rule first. Okay, so according to this question, what are the 3 letters involved? First letter is
Y,
okay, y,
X,
x,
T.
yt. Kenapa t?
Rate.
Sebab ada perkataan rate, ada lagi perkataan per second. So it is t. Okay, so you identify the 3 letters, y, x and t. Lain-lain soalan dia punya huruf akan berlain-lain. Okay, but biasanya akan ada t lah sebab ini adalah soalan rate. Okay, memang akan ada t. Okay, what is it that you want to find? You want to find the rate of change of y. Okay, translate this into mathematics, please. Rate of change of y is?
dy dt.
Very good. Okay, dy dt. Now, you have the 3 letters. You have what you want. Form the chain rule first.
dy dx dx dt.
Okay, times dx dt. Okay. Now, next thing is we need to understand what this sentence means. X is increasing at the rate of 4 unit per second. Apa yang berubah sebenarnya? X bahkan. Dan oleh sebab dia adalah per second, this simply means that this is dx dt. Okay, that is what this sentence means. X yang bertambah 4 unit per second. So that means dx dt adalah sama dengan 4. And that's a very important piece of information. Because it means that ini kau sudah ada jawapan bah, 4. Tinggal kau cari satu benda lagi, which is the value of dy dx. Okay? So how do I find the value of dy dx? What do I do? What must I do first?
Differentiate.
Differentiate. Okay, you differentiate, always differentiate. Okay. All right, Maya, since you already answered, can you differentiate this for me, please? Dy dx is
8x minus 1.
8x minus 1. Okay, and then what do I do? Remember, I want to find the value of dy dx. Sub x. Okay, so 8 times 0.5, because already given x is 0.5. Okay, minus 1. How much is this?
3.
3. Okay, so dy dx is 3, dx dt is 4, so our final answer is 12. Itu je sebenarnya. Okay, you just have to find the value. So this question is actually easy. Okay, you just have to find the value, sub in, and then multiply. Okay, if you need to, you have to terbalikkan lah. Tapi dalam case ini kau tidak perlu terbalikkan. Okay, you just find dy dx, find dx. But the problem with this question is understanding what the question wants. Understanding the information in the question. Itu yang menjadikan soalan ini susah bagi setengah orang. Okay, because we only like to see the number, but we don't like to see the perkataan. Padahal, look at everything that we get. This one is perkataan. This one is perkataan. Okay, kita kena translate perkataan untuk menjadi bahasa matematik. And that is the difficult part about this question. Okay, that's why I started off this class by introducing to you all these things lah. So you understand how to translate the words into mathematical language. Okay, tapi yang banyak membantu is the perkataan per second lah. Because when you see per second, then you know it's dt. Okay, cuma apa yang berubah itu bergantung kepada soalan lah. Okay, now what I want you to do is, I want you to try I want you to try question 4. Okay, question 4 in page 14 first. Okay, you're given y equals to 3x plus 2 over x. Okay, and then the information over there, and then find the rate of change of y when x equals to 2. Saya kasih tunjuk this contoh just for your reference. Okay, but try to answer question number 4 first. Okay, see if you can get the answer 8 over 5. That's the answer over there. Okay, 8 over 5. Remember, identify the 3 letters, do the chain rule, put in the information from the chain rule. Okay, 5 minutes. If you have done number 4, go ahead and do number 3. Okay, tell me lah, what is the differentiation first? Let's just check for everybody lah. Differentiation. Bila kita differentiate ni dapat apa?
3
3
minus 2x square. 2 over x square.
Okay, 2 over x squared. 2 over x squared. Okay, then bila apa yang kamu kena gantikan? X sama dengan?
2.
Sub x equals to 2. Okay, so what do you get? 3 minus 2 over 2 squared. Jawapan?
5 over 2.
5 over 2. Okay, chain rule?
dx dt equal dx dy times dy dt.
Okay. Upper value of dy dt?
4.
4. Okay, tapi upper value of dx dy?
2 over 5.
Kenapa 2 over 5? Kenapa bukan 5 over 2?
5 over 2 tu dy dx. Yang ini
Okay.
dx dy.
Betul, so kita terbalikkan. Okay, so the step is always the same. Thanks, Afandas. So the step is always the same. Differentiate. Macam kita belajar differentiation dari dulu-dulu kan. Differentiate, cari nilai, tetapi tengok dulu kita punya chain rule. Betulkah kita mau dy dx kah, dx dy? So be flexible. Okay, kalau dy dx is 5/2, terbalikkan je dx dy. Okay, anybody can do terbalikkan. Okay, terbalikkan tu tidak susah. Okay, so bila kau darab, you akan dapat 8/5. Okay, for those of you who understand this at a higher level you can write the unit if you want lah. Tapi kalau kau tidak tulis unit pun tidak apa. Okay, if you know that, oh okay, rate of change actually is always unit per second. Apa-apa unit lah. Okay, depending on the question. Sorry ada banyak hingus yang keluar daripada hidung saya hari ini. So all the videos hari ini kan, dari saya pagi sampai sekarang kan, memang saya kena edit kau-kau lah. Okay, setiap bersin, setiap hingus yang keluar, saya kena tengoklah video di dalam ni kan, tengok adakah hingus dari hidung saya tu. Bikin malu kalau dalam video YouTube kan, terus nampak hingus berjatuhan. You. I'm so embarrassed. Okay, so anyway, that's a very that's a very common example of penggunaan rate of change. But as always, we need to look at problems. Okay, the most common problems yang berkaitan dengan rate of change. So I want you to turn to page 70. Okay, in your textbook first. Okay, page 70 in your textbook. This is obviously going to be your homework. Okay. Page 70 in your textbook. Okay, so macam saya cakap, I will give you the questions. I will discuss with you the questions and then you try to answer them on your own. Okay, so question number 1. Okay, diagram on the right shows a bead moving along with the equation. Dia bagi equation y equals to 1/8 x squared. Then dia bagi coordinate 4, 2. Then dia cakap the rate of change of x is 3 units per second. Can you tell me how to write that in mathematics? The rate of change of x is 3 units per second. Rate of change of x is
dx dt.
Okay, dx dt equals to 3. Okay, so let's identify the three letters. The three letters are y, x, and t. Okay, the question is, find the rate of change of the corresponding y. Kalau kita buang perkataan corresponding, it means the same thing. Find the rate of change of y. Means kita mau cari apa?
dy dt.
Okay, find dy dt. Okay, so nothing very special about this question. You already have dx dt. You can form the chain rule, find the value, and then multiply. Okay, very simple. Okay, let's go to question number 2. Okay, question number 2. The area of a square with a side x cm increases at the rate of 8 centimeters squared per second. Okay, let's talk about this. Area of a square. Kalau square, okay, kalau dia punya side adalah x bahkan, dia punya area adalah apa?
X square.
Okay, A equals to x squared. Okay, apa lagi information dia bagi di sana? Apa yang ini 8 ini? 8 ini adalah apa? D apa dt?
dA.
dA dt. Because dia cakap the area increases. Bukan side that increase, the area increases. Okay, at the rate of this one. Okay, apa yang kita mau cari? Find the rate of change of the side. Therefore, apa yang kita mau cari itu? Rate of change of the side. The side itu direpresent oleh huruf
X.
X. So we want to find dx dt bahkan. Okay, form the chain rule first. Obviously the three letters are A, X, and T. I want to find dx dt. Form the chain rule.
dx dA times dA dt.
Very good. Times dA dt. dA dt sudah kena bagi. Senang, lenang, kacang, panjang. How do I find dx dA? How do I find dx, dA?
Tu ada sudah.
Mana? Hebat tu ada sudah. Mana?
Differentiate dulu dA,
Okay.
dx.
Differentiate dulu dA, dx. Lepas tu?
And then once you get the value, you kasih terbalik dia, terus substitute in.
Alright, very good. Okay, kasih terbalik dx, dA. Baru kamu kasih sub in. Okay. So, so the second thing yang susah pasal soalan ini ya, adalah untuk membentuk persamaan. Okay, membentuk persamaan ini yang susah sikit. Okay, especially kalau dia punya persamaan tidak diberi. Okay, take a look at question number 3. A block of ice in the form of a cube with the sides x cm is left to melt. Okay, at the rate of this one, 10.5 centimeter cube per minute. Find the rate of change of x. Okay, so first of all, there's something that we need to figure out first. Apa persamaan yang terlibat ini? Anybody? What is the persamaan yang mungkin terlibat? So, apa yang kita mau bezakan? What do we want to differentiate? We need to have an equation. Anybody want to try?
Volume,
Okay. If we use volume, usually we use the letter V lah. Okay. But what's the formula?
x cube.
Okay, so V equals to x cubed. Okay, so this is the hard part now. We have to figure out what is the formula that we want to use. Okay, that's why all the volume area, semua formula itu kan mesti kau ingat ini. Okay, so V equals to x cubed. So that's number 1. So what is this 10.5 centimeters cube per minute? Apa ini 10.5 ni? D apa, D apa? Oh sorry, D apa dt? Kita tahu dt lah, sebab dia per minute.
dv
Tapi-
dt.
Okay, dv dt. Macam mana kamu tahu V ya? Sebab dia adalah centimeter cube. Dia punya unit adalah centimeter cube. So dia adalah volume. So look at the 3 letters involved here. V, X and T. Soalan cari find the rate of change of X. So dx dt yang kita mau cari. Okay, form the chain rule please.
dx dv
Okay,
times dv dt.
okay, thank you. Dx dv times dv dt. So question 3 and question 2 are very similar. Okay, you have to find the differentiation, sub in, and then terbalikkan because you want to put it into the chain rule. The chain rule cannot change. Everything else can change. You put inside the chain rule. Okay, dv dt, you already count already, so no problem. Okay, and usually we find that at SPM level kan, the questions are generally like this lah. They will already give you one part of the chain rule. It is the first part of the chain rule yang kamu kena manually cari. Differentiate, sub. Differentiate, sub. Okay, that's usually the process. Okay, question number 4. Cylindrical candle. Okay, let's talk about the volume first. If the cylinder is like this, the radius is 3, the height is h. Question A, express V in terms of h. What is the formula for volume of cylinder? Lupa sudah. Anybody? What's the formula for volume of cylinder? Okay, pi r squared h. Okay, but do we have r? We have r, but kan? It's 3. And then we substitute 22 over 7 or 3.142 lah. Okay, so 3.142 times 3 squared times h. Okay, so I will get what? V equals to, can somebody calculate this please? something 29 point something
28.278 H.
27
8.
28.28.
28.278.
Oh, okay. 28.278 H. Okay, you can leave it like that. Okay, so you have the formula already lah. I suspect that the behind the book they will probably use this as 22/7. Okay, or they will even leave it as pi. Okay, you can actually be 9 pi h lah. Boleh juga kau tinggalkan begini. I suspect that the book will be this answer lah. Okay, because pi is just a number. Sorry. Pi is just a number. Astaga. Okay. Now tell me, this 0.6 is what?
DH dt.
Okay, dH dt. Now, this is something that I want to talk about. If the dH dt, if you see the word decreases, you see the word decreases in the question over there? Okay? It means that this dH dt is a negative number. I forgot to mention this just now. The rate of change can be negative and can be positive. Negative is if it decreases, and positive is if it increases. Okay, so actually, question number 3 also, this is negative 10.5 because the ice block melts. Okay, the ice block melts, and so it becomes a negative number. Okay, so I forgot to mention please take a look for the word decreases, increases. Kalau increases kan, then the rate of change is positive. But if it is decreasing, then the rate of change is a negative number. Okay, just be aware of that lah. Okay, so our 3 letters are obviously V, H, and T. Okay, form the chain rule, please. Apa yang kita mau cari ya? Find the rate of change of volume. Okay, what's the rate of change of volume? D what, D what?
dv dt.
Okay, dV dt. The chain rule will be? V, H, and T,
dv dh dh dt.
Okay, dV dH times dH dt. Okay, you find dV dH, the value, then you substitute negative 0.6. Remember, it's negative, sebab soalan itu minta decreases. As I said, please remember, the most important thing is understand what the question wants. Okay, know how to form the chain rule by identifying the 3 letters, and then be flexible with the value that you find. Okay, ikut dia punya chain rule. The most important thing is you follow the chain rule as closely as you can. Okay, so for today, what I want you to do is, I want you to complete this paper, okay, page 14, 15, all the way until page 18. Okay, page 14 to page 18, muka surat 14 sampai muka surat 18. Okay, and then this is the one that you submit into your Google Classroom for today. Lain sikit kan? Oh, sorry, plus the self-exercise. Sorry, self-exercise. Okay, 2.13, question number 1 to number 4. Okay, question number 1 to number 4. And then page 14. Page 14 all the way to page 18. Okay, all the rate of change.